Have you ever wished your AI could do more than just, answer generic questions? What if you could actually hand it your team's secret playbook and teach it to work exactly the way you do? Well, that's the whole idea behind something called agent skills. We're going to dive into how these things can transform a generalist AI into a super specialized, can't live without it member of your team. Right? I mean, we've got these incredibly smart AI models, but they all have this one huge blind spot. They're generalists. They have absolutely no idea about your company's coding standards, or your team's specific format for writing commit messages, or how you guys handle pull request reviews. They're missing all that crucial inside knowledge that makes a team, well, a team. The best way to think about it is like hiring someone new. On the one hand, a generalist AI is that brilliant new hire on their first day, super smart, tons of potential, but completely clueless about how things actually get done around here. What we really want is on the other side, a fully onboarded teammate, an expert who knows all your workflows from day one. So how do we bridge that gap? How do we get our AI from that day one new hire to a seasoned pro? Well, you give it an onboarding guide. And that, right there, is exactly what agent skills are for. And hey, don't just take my word for it. This isn't just some clever analogy I came up with. The folks at Anthropic who actually developed this concept, they put it perfectly. Building a skill is literally like putting together an onboarding guide for a new hire. This is the big idea that makes everything else click.
Okay, so what is an agent skill in practice? It's really just a structured folder. That's it. Inside this folder, you put your instructions, your examples, maybe some scripts, basically any resource the AI needs to learn how to do a specific task exactly your way. Think of it as your own custom-built lesson plan for your AI. And what's so elegant about this whole thing is how simple it is under the hood. For all this power we're talking about, a skill really just boils down to a folder that has one special file inside, SKILL.md. That's the front door. That's where the whole lesson begins. All right, so you've made this folder, you've got your special SKILL.md file in there, so now what? How does the AI actually start using it? The good news is it's not something you have to manually trigger every single time. The whole process is way, way smarter than that. And this is absolutely key. Skills are model invoked. What that means is you don't have to say, hey AI, use the commit message skill now. Nope. Instead, the AI is smart enough to look at your request and think to itself, aha, this looks like a job for the commit message skill. It's proactive. It figures it out on its own. This all happens in this really slick three-step cycle. First up is discovery. The AI just takes a quick scan of the names and descriptions of all the skills it has access to, kind of like you glancing at the titles of books on a shelf. Next comes activation. If your request seems to match a skills description, the AI pulls that book off the shelf and opens it up to the main instructions. And finally, execution. It just follows those instructions to get the job done, and it'll even pull in other files or run code if the instructions tell it to. Now, you might be thinking, okay, but if I have tons of these skills, won't loading all those instructions just overwhelm the AI's context window or its short-term memory? And that is a fantastic question. It's solved by this really brilliant design principle called progressive disclosure. It all works in layers, which is what keeps it so efficient. At level 1, the AI only sees the high-level stuff, just the name and a short description. It's just scanning the table of contents at this point. Only if a skill seems like a match does it move to level 2 and actually read the main instructions in that SKILL.md file. And then only if those instructions point to even more detail does it go to level 3. It only loads what it needs, exactly when it needs it. Super smart. So far, we've mostly talked about skills as being these instruction manuals, right? But this is where things take a massive leap forward. We're about to unlock some honest-to-goodness superpowers for our AI. Because these skills are not just limited to text-based instructions that the AI reads and then tries to follow. They can be executable. This is huge. You can put actual code, like Python scripts or shell commands, right inside the skill folder. This gives the AI the ability to do things in the real world, not just know things in its head. And this is a total game changer. The source material says this gives the AI capabilities far beyond what's possible in a single prompt. We're basically shifting from having a chat partner to having an active collaborator that can run tools for you. Let me give you an amazing example. You could build a skill so that when you ask it to visualize the codebase, it actually runs a Python script that generates a fully interactive map of your entire project. I mean, wow.
Or imagine a skill that auto-formats your messy bug reports into a perfect Jira ticket, or one that generates flawless release notes just by scanning your recent commits. That is stuff a simple prompt could only dream of doing. Now, this power gets even crazier when we start thinking about how these skills can be shared and managed. This isn't just about one person teaching their own AI a few tricks. It's about creating a whole ecosystem of shared knowledge. And you have complete control over where these skills live. You can create personal skills just for you. You can have project-level skills that are shared with your whole team inside a code repository. You could even package them up into a plugin that anyone can install, or have your admin deploy a set of skills across the entire company. This is how you really start to scale your team's expertise. So you might be wondering, okay, when do I use a skill versus one of these other tools? It's all about picking the right tool for the job. You use skills when you want to give the AI specialized knowledge that it figures out when to use on its own. If you just want a reusable prompt that you trigger by hand, well, that's what slash commands are for. And for really complex stuff, you might delegate to a subagent. Each one has its perfect place in your AI toolkit. So when you put all of these pieces together, what does it really mean? It means we're fundamentally changing our relationship with AI. We're graduating from using a generic tool to collaborating with a true, specialized teammate. This is the big transformation we've been talking about. Agent skills take that powerful, off-the-shelf AI and turn it into a specialist that is deeply plugged into your world, your processes, and your team's unique way of doing things. It's almost like it becomes an extension of your team's collective brain. All right, let's do a super quick recap. If you remember anything, remember this. Agent skills are like that onboarding manual for your AI. They get triggered automatically by the AI itself. That clever progressive disclosure design keeps them super efficient. And, most excitingly, they can execute code to do complex things, and you can share them to build up this amazing ecosystem of team knowledge. And that really brings us to the final and maybe most important question. It's not just about what the AI can do for you, but what you can teach it to do. So I'll just leave you with this to chew on. What's the very first, most impactful skill that you would teach your new AI teammate?